Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the class. Today, we will start a new chapter in political science, and that is local government. Under this chapter, you will be aware to so many new things like the importance of local government bodies, then the provisions in our constitution, and these provisions were not in the original constitution. They were inserted through our amendment 73rd and 74th. And then we will see the functions and responsibilities of local government bodies. So first of all, the chapter has been started with two examples, and we will discuss these examples. So we see Geeta Rathore belonged to Jamonia Talab Gram Panchayat, which was in Sehor district of Madhya Pradesh. She was elected Sarpanch in 1995 from a reserved seat. Then in 2000 again she was elected, and this time she was elected from a non-reserved seat. So she is a woman, and it will be discussed in further discussion. You will become to know that there is a provision for reservation of one-third seat for women. So first time when she contested the election of Gram Panchayat, she was elected from the reserved seat. But in 2000, she was elected from a non-reserved seat. And but we see that the the person Geeta Rathore, she was just an ordinary housewife before 1995, but after becoming Sarpanch, she her personality has changed a lot, and with this she has brought so many changes in the village also. So like she has harnessed the collective energy of her panchayat to renovate water tanks. Then she built a school building, constructed a village road, fight against domestic violence and atrocities against women, created environmental awareness, and encouraged afforestation and water management. So all these things were done under the leadership of Geeta Rathore. So on the one hand, this is the one of the best example of women empowerment, and on the other hand, we see that under the leadership of Geeta Rathore, the village underwent so many changes, so many new developments has taken place in the village, and the village proceeded on the path of development. So this is also good for the whole village, for all the people who were living in the village. They were getting so many infrastructure, they were getting so many facilities which are making their life more easy and comfortable. So in this way, we see the importance of local government. By the local government, what happens that the problems which are local in nature, like the problem of drinking water, then school building, then roads, all these problems which are local in nature, these problems are solved through the local effort. So this is very important. This is why we need local government. Then there is second example. In this, we see another story of yet another woman achiever. She is also a woman, and she was the president of a Gram Panchayat of Vengai Vasal village. This village is in Tamil Nadu, and the lady is the Sarpanch of Vengai Vasal village. And what happened in 1997? The Tamil Nadu government allotted 2 hectares of land to 71 government employees. And this 2 hectare land fell within the vicinity of this Gram Panchayat, this Vengai Vasal Gram Panchayat. Okay, so the 2 acre land which was within the territory of Vengai Vasal village panchayat that land was allotted by the Tamil Nadu government to 71 government employees without any consultation with the Gram Panchayat. So this happened, and then what happened? On the instruction of higher authorities, the district collector of Kanchipuram directed the president of Gram Panchayat to pass a resolution endorsing the allotment of the said land for the purpose already decided. So the decision has been taken by the Tamil Nadu government, and after taking the decision unilaterally, okay, after taking the decision unilaterally, the instructions were given to the district collector of Kanchipuram, because this village, Vengai Vasal village, was in the district of Kanchipuram. So the district collector of Kanchipuram was given instruction, and what was the instruction? The instruction was to direct the president of Gram Panchayat to pass a resolution so that the allotment which was done by the Tamil Nadu government can be executed. For the purpose of execution of this land allotment, a resolution was needed to be passed by the Gram Panchayat. So, district collector of Kanchipuram was asked to direct the president of Gram Panchayat to pass the resolution. Now, what happens? The president and the Gram Panchayat refused to pass such an order. They were not ready to pass this order. Why they were not ready to pass this order? Because it was their argument that the Tamil Nadu government has taken the decision regarding the allotment of that piece of land which was lying under the Gram Panchayat of Vengai Vasal. So the government cannot take decision unilaterally without consulting the members of the Gram Panchayat or the president of the Gram Panchayat. So the president and the Gram Panchayat refused to pass this kind of order. They refused to obey the direction of the district collector of Kanchipuram. And now what happens, that the collector issued an order to acquire the land. Now the collector issued the order to acquire the land. If you are not ready to pass the order, then the district collector has ordered to acquire the land. Forcibly, they were ready to acquire the land. But now the Gram Panchayat took a legal action, and it filed a writ petition in the Madras High Court against the collector's action, as the collector was going to acquire the land forcibly without the consent of the Gram Panchayat. So the Gram Panchayat filed a writ petition in the Madras High Court, and this writ petition was against the collector's action. And in this case, what happened? There was a single judge bench, and this single judge bench of the High Court upheld the collector's order. Upheld means it supported the collector's order, and ruled that there was no need to take the panchayat consent. It was the judgment of the High Court single judge bench that the state government, the Tamil Nadu government, can take any decision, and there was no need to take the consent of the panchayat. So whatever was done by the district collector was correct. Now what happens? The panchayat appealed to the division bench against this single judge bench. Against the judgment of this single judge bench, the panchayat appealed to the division bench, and in its order, the division bench reversed the order of the single judge. The single judge has delivered the judgment in favor of the district collector. Now the division bench has reversed. Reverse means पीछे वापस कर दिया, उल्टा कर दिया. Now the division bench judges held that the government order amounted to not only infringement of the powers of the panchayat but a gross violation of the constitutional status of the panchayats. So this was the ruling of the division bench, and it said that whatever done by the government was the infringement. Uh, that was a kind of encroachment of the powers of the panchayat. The through the 73rd and 73rd amendment, the constitution has given some powers to the panchayats, and no authority, even the state government has no power to snatch these powers, to encroach these powers, to entrench these powers. So it was the infringement of the power of the panchayat, and it was violation of the constitutional status of the panchayats. The powers which were given to the panchayats by the constitution, the state government is violating that constitutional status. So this example again proves the importance of local government, how local government play an important role in the life of a common man. If suppose the panchayat of this Vengai Vasal village did not oppose the order of the district collector, and they accepted the direction of the district collector, then what would have happened? That the village would have lost its land, the land which was belonging to the villagers. So this is also an important aspect of the local government. Now we see that both these stories are not isolated incidents. They are representative of a larger transformation that is taking place across India, especially after constitutional status was accorded to local government institution in 1993. So here I must tell you that in our original constitution, there was no provision for local government. And the local government was existing in country after independence, but there was no regularity. Nothing was uniform throughout the country. Everything was not done according to any rules and uniformity. But in 1993, what happened that an amendment was done to the constitution, that is 73rd amendment, and this through this 73rd amendment constitutional status was given to the local government in India. And in this way we find that there are three levels of the government: the first at the central level, the second at the state level, and the third at the local level. And now local government is government at the village and district level. Local government is about government closest to the common people. So whenever we talk about the state government or the central government, they are very powerful government. They have so many important powers. But what we find that the state government and the local government, they are not close to the people. If we have some problem regarding our day-to-day life, and if for in order to solve that problem we have to approach the state government or the central government, then it will be a time consuming act, and not only time consuming, it will not be very effective, but because the state government is not knowing the local situation and local problems, so it will not be able to solve the problems of the local nature. So local government is required because it involves the day-to-day life and problems of ordinary citizen. It believes that local knowledge and local interest are essential ingredients for the democratic decision making. Local government is not only important for the for solving the problems of our day-to-day life, but local government is also important for democratic decision making. Democracy is what? Democracy is a government of the people. So how this government of the people will become real? The most important way to realize the ideals of democracy is the effective local government bodies. Because in local government bodies, there is direct participation of the people. And this direct participation of the people ensure democracy, ensure democratic decision making. So these are the things which is important about local government. First of all, uh, local government is about government that involves day-to-day life and or problems of ordinary citizens. And then local government is very much important for democratic decision making. Local government is very much important for making the democracy real. Okay, these are the 2 points. Importance of local government. Now we are proceeding to the third point. They are also necessary for efficient and people-friendly administration, because why efficiency comes through the local government? Because the local government is associated with the people at the grassroots level. The people who are facing the problem, they are given the power to solve the problem. So efficiency will naturally be there, because people are very much aware of the nature of the problem. So it is efficient and people friendly. Why it is efficient and why it is people friendly? Efficient, I told you why it is efficient, because local people are there to take decision in the local matter, so they will be more efficient in taking the right decision. And then it is people friendly also, because everyone is knowing everybody. There is no if we compare this local administration with the state administration or central administration, what we find that there is in state and center level there is uh, bureaucracy, and local people are not feel comfortable. They are not able to reach their those people are not accessible to the common people easily. But here at local level, the administration is people friendly, because everything is related to the locality only, and all people are knowing everybody. So this is another benefit of having local government. Local government is so near to the people that it is convenient for the people to approach the local government for solving their problems both quickly and with minimum cost. Because of local government, it is easy for the people to approach the government, to access the government. And not only it is easy to access, but the work is also done quickly, and the cost which is involved in getting the work done is also minimum. So as we saw in the story of Geeta Rathore, she brought about so many changes in Jamunia Talab. Why? Because she was a proactive sarpanch, and because of that she brought so many changes which were ultimately beneficial for the common people, for the villagers. And similarly we saw in Vengai Vasam village, the village was able to retain its land and right to decide what to do with it, because of the relentless effort of its Gram Panchayat president. If the president of the Gram Panchayat was not active, if the president of the Gram Panchayat was not ready to protect the interest of the villagers at any cost, then it could not have happened. It happened only because of the effort of the Gram Panchayat. president. So local government is very effective in protecting the local interest of the people. So this is your one of the uh, points regarding the importance of the local government. If the problem is local, then it should be solved at the local level only. Then it will be solved efficiently. It will be solved quickly and in a low cost. It will be a low cost affair also. Now, democracy means participation. Democracy is the government of the people. Means that democracy is the participation of the people. And other than participation, one more important tenet of democracy, and that is accountability. So, if the local government is strong and vibrant, then it ensures both the things, participation as well as accountability. As we see in the Gita Rathore case, in the Gita Rathore story, in that story, there was committed participation. The Sarpanch was herself very much taking part. She was so much so active, proactive Sarpanch, and because of her initiative, the all the people of the village, all the villagers gave their contribution. They also participated. So it ensures participation of the people, and it also ensures accountability. If we see the case of Vengai Vasal village, what we see that because of the effort of the president, because of the effort of the Gram Panchayat, the village uh, secured its right over its own land. So it means it shows the accountability. It must be the Gram Panchayat must do anything with accountability. Uh, mm, it cannot escape that element of accountability. If it has been given some powers by the constitution, then it must use that power with accountability. And we see that it is at the level of local government that common citizens can be involved in decision making and concerning their lives, their needs, and above all their development. So this ensures democracy, the participation of the people, and the accountability of the government. All are ensured by the local government. Then we see that it is if we want a democracy to be successful, it is very much important that whatever task can be performed locally, that task must be left in the hands of the local people and their representatives, because common people are more familiar with their local government than with the government at the center, state or center level. So this is very important. Common people are more familiar with their local government than with the government at the state or national level. They are more concerned with what local government does or has failed to do so, as it has a direct bearing and impact on their day to day life. Thus, strengthening local government is like strengthening democratic process. So, if we make our local government strong, it means we are making the democracy strong, because democracy can become real, it can become meaningful only through the local government. Now we have completed this. What is the importance of local government? So have we have discussed all these points. It is people friendly. It is through the local government the problems can be solved quickly, efficiently, and with minimum cost. Then this local government can be very effective in protecting the local interest of the people. Then it ensure participation and accountability. And the democracy becomes real only when we make the local government strong. So all these are the importance of democracy, importance of local government. Now we will see growth of local government in India. So in this regard, we will see uh, it was believed that the self-governing village communities existed in India from the earliest time in the form of sabhas. When you have studied history, in history we have this mention of this sabha. What was sabha? It was a form of local government. So in India, we can say that the local self-governing village communities. There were village communities which were given the role of governing themselves. So these self-governing village communities were existing in India from the ancient time. And now what we see that with the passage of time, these village bodies like sabhas, they took the shape of panchayat. Panchayat means panch means five. So it's an assembly of 5%. So this somehow turned into panchayat with the passage of time. And we see that these panchayats resolve issues at the village level. Their role and function kept on changing at different points of time. So we cannot say that there was not a uniformity regarding these panchayats. In various parts of country, these panchayats were the composition was different, the functions and powers were different, but they were existing and they were resolving issues which were arising at the village level. So, if we consider the modern time, what we see that in modern time, elected local government bodies were created after 1882. It was only after 1882 that the elected local government bodies were created. And in this regard, one name, that is the name of Lord Ripon, was very important, the Viceroy of India. He took the initiative in creating these bodies. So it's a very important information that in 1882, Lord Ripon was the Viceroy of India and he took the initiative in creating these local government bodies. And at that time, they were called the local boards. And but what we see that in this regard, the progress was very low. Very slow progress was happening in these local government bodies. And that is why the Indian National Congress urged the government to take necessary steps to make all local bodies more effective, because it was the opinion of Indian National Congress that the local government should be strong. It should be effective because in local government, the local people are taking part. So it will ensure more and more it will ensure more and more autonomy and effectiveness. So it was the pressure of the Indian National Congress that it wanted the government to take whatever steps are required to make the all the local bodies more effective. And then came the Government of India Act of 1919. Through this act, what happened that village panchayats were established in so many provinces. And this trend also continued in the Government of India Act of 1935. So all these acts of the British Parliament were enacted for the governance in India. And in these act, be it the Act of 1919 or be it the Act of 1935, in all these acts there was mention of local government bodies, village bodies, these were. So this was the development up to 1935. And then when we saw Mahatma Gandhi when took the lead of the Indian national movement, he strongly wanted decentralization of economic and political power, because Mahatma Gandhi was very much a great supporter of local government, because he believed in decentralization. There should not be centralization of power. Power should not be vested at one place. So he believed that strengthening village panchayats was a means of effective decentralization. And with decentralization, what happened? Then that people will get more and more power, and their condition will improve. So Mahatma Gandhi has a great role in this regard, and all development initiative must have local involvement in order to be successful. It was the argument of Gandhi that whatever development initiative is going to be taken by the government, it must uh, include the opinion of the local people. There must be involvement of the local people. Then only these development initiatives can be successful, because the same thing which we have studied in the importance of the local government, because local people are aware of the problems, they are aware of the situation that is prevailing in the area, so they will be more efficient to solve the problem. So their involvement is very much required if we want the developmental initiatives for the village to be successful. This was the opinion of Gandhi. And panchayats therefore were looked upon as instrument of decentralization and participatory democracy. Two things which is very much important about local government. It was an instrument of decentralization. How power will be decentralized? How power cannot be centralized at one place? Through local government. And how we will ensure the participation of the people through local government. So these two were the main reason behind the support of the local government. Our national movement was concerned about the enormous concentration of power in the hands of the Governor General sitting in Delhi. So the national movement, which was aimed at attaining freedom from the British rule, that the national movement was very much not liking this trend that all the powers are concentrated only in one hand, that is Governor General. So our leaders, for our leaders, independence meant an assurance that there will be decentralization of decision making, executive and administrative power. So why decentralization of decision making, executive and administrative power will be equal to freedom? Because it means if the power is decentralized, it means that the people are taking participation, and the people, when people are taking participation in decision making, when people are taking part in executive and administrative power, then it means independence. So this was the condition during the national movement of our country, and the further discussion will be done in the next class.